Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and welcome to Heart podcast. In this podcast, we slow down and have genuine conversations about the things that touch our lives, our struggles, our growth, and everything in between. This was supposed to be the first episode, but the actual first episode that is published, it's the one we talked about intersectionality in with my dear friend. And by the way, there was supposed to be part two as well, but I'm not sure when it will be published. So for now, this is the second episode, and I'll be talking about social media. But I know there are like tons and tons of content about this topic, social media, and I don't want it to be cliche. And I was just thinking, let me come up with something more creative. But then I thought to myself, it is still an important topic, social media, because when you think about it, social media is taking so much space in our lives. It is like it is not just an aspect. It parallels our real life. Like this is another aspect of life, the virtual life, and it is still a huge part of our lives. For example, where like it is as if it's complementing the real life, or even sometimes compensating and totally replacing, in certain cases, the real life. You can build whole new relationships on social media, and you can at the same time end relationships on social media. You can do so many significant things on social media. So it is an impactful platform. Or the idea of that there's the like this virtual world that people go into, and they have accounts, and they put some of their information there, and they start contacting other people and posting their opinions and promoting things and unpromoting others. So this whole thing, and how this idea of promotion or advocating certain ideas affect other people's view of things. So this is a big dilemma. It is, and who controls all of this? Who holds the power? And what do they do in all of this process? So yeah, it is an important topic. It is something that we should talk about. We should think about. And let me tell you my approach towards social media. Okay, I am for quitting social media for good. Like this is personally my aim, is to quit social media for good. But I know quite well that this thing does not work for everyone. But I want it to work for me, and this is why I'm making this episode. But again, I'm not telling you, or the aim, the goal for me, I mean, for the listeners, is not to quit social media, but to learn how to quit when you want to quit. So the difference is, or let me tell you why. Why? Because of the idea of letting go. Why is it important to let go? I mean, in the last 10 days of Ramadan, I really wanted to stop caring so much about dunya. Like really, I just want to not make a fuss out of dunya, to just, or to even forget it. Like I myself, I know I magnify certain things in dunya, and certain like trivial, very trivial stuff, and I keep thinking about them, and I know they're not even valuable, and they're not worth my time or my effort or anything. Like for example, I spend a lot of time shopping, and I know like I don't really, and the thing is, I don't really need to buy anything, but I just love this, or it gives me I don't know, that kind of dopamine. But in reality, I do not need this, but I still do this. And one of the ways that accentuates this is sorry, when I am on social media. So the idea of letting go is to control your consumption and not let it control you. That's what I'm talking about. And let me tell you why. And as I told you, not all people, I think not all people have to quit social media for good. But that's just a personal preference. And why do I prefer this is because I just realized that this is how my brain works. I either have it all or I don't have it at all. Like I'm either so active on social media, I'm posting and spending a lot of time on platforms, or I'm just done with the whole thing and I just want to quit. So instead of being too active, I choose to be not to be there, to be absent, because I cannot maintain a balance, to be honest. And it is hard. I admit it is hard to maintain a balance when you're on social media because there are a lot of temptations. That's number one. And number two, you cannot control everything. Like that's a huge part of why I prefer, or I find it easier to quit social media rather than to stay there and come up with a balance. But for you, if you're already a social media user, maybe the closest thing that you can do is come up with a balance instead of quitting at all. But still, you need to learn how to quit. And again, this is the idea of letting go, and it's not just about social media. It's about, for example, in Ramadan, I feel I listen to this idea that the idea of Ramadan is to make you free, free of food cravings, free of human desires, free of excessive, extravagant things, free of as well social media. Because when you in Ramadan, what we do is we minimize our thinking about dunya and stuff and focus more on ibadah. Like most of the time in Ramadan, we try as much as we can to dedicate them for ibadah. So we're shifting the perspective from too much dunya to less dunya, more ibadah, more akhirah, more of paradise, inshallah. And this is why it is important to learn to quit social media when you want to quit social media. And I remember that one friend I had, she was so obsessed with social media. And whenever we go out, like we spent hours and hours of just me taking pictures of her because she wants to choose the perfect picture to post. And yeah, it was like it was understandable for me because I had this period in my life, maybe when I was like in high school or a little earlier, maybe in prep school. But yeah, alhamdulillah, I got over this. And I understood her. But the thing is, we really do not have to go through all this. Like, it's just that because we're so into this, we cannot see what's beyond. And that's what happens when you quit social media. And there's this one day that she came to me and she told me she uh closed social media for a whole 2 days, and that she tried to minimize her holding the phone, and she went to the pool and she had a chill day by the pool and everything was nice and all, and she was with her friends and she did not take a lot of pictures as she is used to, and she told me it was really nice. And she told me she thinks she needs this from time to time. She needs to detach herself from too much social media. Even though, like, I know for sure it was hard for her at certain times, especially when she's alone or when she is not with friends or not with someone to entertain her. It's so hard to resist this temptation to open social media. And that is the thing, by the way. Like, even when I look into myself, when I look into when I open social media. Like you find people everywhere when they're waiting for someone, when they're in public transportation, when they are whatever they're doing, when they're at home, when they have job, when they don't have job. Equally, they open social media. They scroll on Facebook. They go on Twitter, go on Instagram, watch reels, etc. So that is the thing, and I believe part of this addictive or repetitive attitude is related to escapism. I don't know. There are some days in my life that were so hard, or not like hard in the sense that, um, but in the sense that it was draining me psychologically. So when I'm on my way home, I'm thinking to myself, what I need most right now is to go home, lie on the sofa, and hold the phone and keep scrolling and forget everything. It's just literally me telling myself I want to distract myself and I don't want to think about anything. And you know what? This is true. Actually, I mean, this was one of the very powerful reasons why I scroll on Facebook or Instagram, for example, and time passes hours and hours, and I don't care, and or I don't feel it. And you know what? I want this. Sometimes it feels like I need this. I want this. I want to this kind of escapism, even if it was affecting me negatively, but I still wanted it. But when we think about it consciously, what happens after this cycle? Like I spent, for example, it was a hard day. I want some sort of escapism. I got home, I lied on the sofa, I opened whatever app, and I kept scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And then after 3 hours or more, I find myself more empty, interestingly. So it's like I was already having this, I don't know, emotionally drained or emotionally needing some, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, support, or maybe detachment. I want to detach myself, or I want to unwind my mind. And then I go on social media, and when I finish, or when I'm done, or when I'm actually bored, I'm like totally bored. um when I'm totally bored, I feel more empty. So this escapism did not solve the problem, it just numbs it. And even it exacerbates it. So the emptiness increased after opening social media. And not just the emptiness, but the guilt of spending so much time on something that does not matter. On on scrolling aimlessly, on watching content that are trivial. But because at this point, when I'm just scrolling, I don't care about what I'm watching or what is appearing to what I see on the feed. I'm just watching and watching and watching, and there are so many things that I do not agree with, but I still watch because I'm just turning off my mind. It's just something playing in front of me, and I'm not even there. I'm just trying as to distract myself in a way. And this is why, like one of the reasons again why social media is, or why we need to have a conscious approach to social media. And again, this conscious approach, like we can get to this conscious approach by analyzing our attitude towards social media, just like what I did. So think about yourself, think about how you consume social media, when do you open it the most, and how it affects you. and and then you can decide what best suits you. Is it completely quitting, or is it just quitting at certain times, or is it just learning how to quit but still maintaining a balance? Or is it about staying on social media and all, but cleaning or filtering the content that appears? I know the filtering part is so hard for me. I mean, it's so hard in general because again, you got the algorithms pushing things into your way that you might not necessarily interested in, or that you might not necessarily even agree with, and that's another important point as well. So number one, why you should quit or learn again. Just I'm gonna quit, or I'm trying to quit, but you don't have to. But what you have to do, in my opinion, is to learn how to quit. Why? Because you need to let go. You need to be in control of yourself. You do not want to be dependent on something, whether this thing is social media or food or whatever, but it is there. I mean, if you're using it for your benefit and not let it use you. You know, there's this quote. There was this documentary on about I guess it's called the social dilemma, probably. Yeah, and then there's this quote that says, if you're not I don't remember, if you're not paying for the product, you're the product, I guess. So basically, social media, we are the product, and directly and indirectly, by the way. Like, it does not have to be an advertising, like a direct advertising or something, no. But even about the ideologies, about promoting certain ideologies, especially in times of, for example, political upheaval, or elections, or etc., etc. When you find certain posts about certain parties, to try to glorify them more, or whatever. So yeah, that's what social media is doing, and it's even doing more than that. But that's just part of it. So number one is letting go. Learn how to let go. Number two, and is, I guess I've touched upon this, and let me repeat it: the collective impact. When you are on social media, you're not just on social media, but you are on social media and you are affecting other people. And this idea is making me so frightening. This idea frightens me. It is so frightening because I'm afraid that I will be making a negative impact on someone. I mean, on social media, we have to be so conscious because, again, we cannot control all the content that we see. And from then, we can see a lot of things that we do not agree with, and we can, by mistake or even consciously, interact with this, and we can promote certain things that we don't want to promote. I mean, for example, this is not a very serious example, but yeah, it works. It kind of works. For example, as I told you, I like shopping, and I watch a lot of models, or styling videos, or shopping hauls, etc. But like lately, I decided that I don't want to interact with these type of content because mainly I don't want to be promoted, or for example, if I'm watching a model, a blogger, I don't usually agree with everything the blogger does, or the things that her ideologies, or the things that she's promoting. So if I like one of her videos or one of her reels, I'm telling the algorithm to show her to more and more people. So I'm promoting something that I do not agree with, just because I love her outfit, or her picture, or whatever. And think about this, like you can apply this to other millions and millions of examples. So, like, one type of content that I'm comfortable to share, or like, or interact with, is Islamic related or religious content. Like, for example, Quran clips, or Islam related posts, because I feel like I will actually be rewarded if I liked, for example, this post, and it helped other people to see it. So that's basically the butterfly effect. Something very small that you can do can make a big difference, and this difference could be good and could be bad, and you have to be very careful about that. All right. So yeah, I guess that's it. Okay, to be honest, I didn't thought it's gonna be so long. Like we're hitting 20 minutes, so I guess that's enough for today's episode. And I hope you guys liked it. I hope it kind of resonated with you. I actually had some tips uh, to make a mindful approach towards social media, but maybe but they're not really, or maybe we can go through them quickly. Okay, so number one, we don't need to have accounts on every social media platform. So it's actually illogical for one person to have Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, WhatsApp, and the list goes on. So this is too much. You will not even have time to open all of them. So I would say choose certain platforms, and the less toxic, the more beneficial. Like choose these and quit the more toxic and less beneficial. Like for example, for me, TikTok is one of the most toxic platforms out there. You might agree or disagree. We can argue about that, but still, for me, like I don't have TikTok. But instead, I have Twitter, and I'm totally fine with Twitter, and I love Twitter, especially that the community I follow on Twitter are really nice, and they benefit me a lot. So number two, clean your accounts. Again, we talked about filtering. It's so hard, I know, because you cannot control the algorithms, but you can control again what you interact with, and you can show the algorithms that you like this type of content, that you want to see more often in your field as much as you can. And don't be afraid to unfollow or even block accounts that you don't want to see at all. Like there was not just like one blogger, but several bloggers that kept appearing in my feed, that I'm it's just that it's not that I don't like them, but I'm not interested in this type of content. So I just simply just block them, or just say, tell the algorithms that you're not interested. And number three is kind of related. Use the algorithms for your own benefit, and do not let the algorithms use you. I'm sorry, my nose is I have a runny nose, so that's why my sound is a bit weird. So again, about the algorithms. The thing about the algorithm is that it shows you the content that appeals to your desire. As I told you, I like shopping, so the more I watch shopping videos, the more they appear, and the more this craving deepens, and I don't want that. So instead of me going with that urge, I try to resist as much as I can that urge. Number four, set limits for yourself. So instead of checking social media whenever you're bored, have certain times in the day for it, and set times when you don't use it. Like for example, when you're eating, or right before you go to bed, or when you're having quality time with friends or family. Like this is something I truly appreciate. When I'm out with friends, I do not want to open my phone at all. Like even if it happens, it's just accidentally. And to be honest, I hate it when they do, like when I'm out with someone and they start scrolling on Instagram or something. So it's just like, I mean, if you're going to scroll on Instagram, why are we together? Like you can just do this at home, or somewhere else. But since we're sitting together, then it's about us. It's about, like, let's connect in real life. Let's have conversations. So yeah, these were last four tips. And yeah, that's it. I hope you liked the episode. Thanks for spending this time with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one, inshallah. Take care.